Everybody. Today is an exciting day because we get to finish our first ever book from home. But before we get into that, I have a huge shout out for Merly. Merly's mom sent me the best video of her reading her writing and showing me all of her awesome pictures and her great job stretching out all of her words. And she was reading the book all by herself. Awesome job, Merly. Issa's mom also sent me a great video of Issa reading and practicing his heart words and doing a great job with his writing. I am so proud of all of you guys. Keep all the videos coming. I miss you all so much. Okay, so our last day today for our book is called editing. Today's our editing day. Today's the day where we look over each page of our book and see if we made any mistakes that we need to fix or to see if we want to add something to make our writing more interesting or maybe add something to our picture. So, what I need you to do is get your book. So, I'm going to get mine. Got my book. And we're going to go through each page and we're going to see if we need to add anything. That's what editing is. Editing is looking at your work and seeing if you can make it better or see if you can fix any mistakes. So, let's take a look. I'm going to move my camera so that you guys can see my book and we're going to look at each piece. So, first, we're going to start with our cover. I'm going to look at my cover and I'm going to see, did I spell everything correctly? I Love Brooke by Miss Giamarino. My first and last name is on it. I have pictures of me and Miss Kristen. I have some of my books and music and math. Maybe I'm going to add, I think I want to add a couple more pictures to it. So if you have some extra space, because look, I have some extra space there. If you have extra space, go ahead and pause your video and add a little something to your cover. So I'm going to pause my video. I'm going to add something. And when we come back, we'll look at what we added. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I added. I had some space on the bottom, so I drew a couple books because books are like one of my favorite things to do. I love to read. And I also wrote the sentence, I can do it, because that's something I always tell my kids at school and at home. You can always do it, just try your best. And then I wrote our core values: integrity, self determination, respect, focus, and teamwork. So I'm looking at my cover and I like my cover. I'm very satisfied. I'm very happy with my cover. So let's go on to our next page. My cover, and I'm going to put my first page up. My first page is our page about friends, my friends. So let's read what we have. I'll read what I have, and then we'll pause the video and you can read what you have. One of my friends is Miss Chrisman. She is my friend because she always makes me smile. So I gave you one good reason why Miss Chrisman was my friend, but I feel like I want to add another sentence. So that's what editing is all about, adding and fixing. So I'm going to pause the video and you can pause the video too, and you can either add another sentence or you can add to your picture. So let's do that. I hope you added another sentence about one of your friends. I'm going to read to you what I wrote. I wrote, Miss Chrisman helps me be a better teacher. And I write that because when I have a hard time teaching sometimes, Miss Chrisman always gives me great ideas. So that's another reason why I love being friends with Miss Chrisman. So I want to make sure all my words are spelled right. I want to make sure that my picture goes with my words. And it does. So I'm happy with my second page. So let's go on to our next page. Our next page was our teacher page. So I'm going to read what I have. Make sure all my spelling is right. My teacher is Miss Giamarino. Remember, not all of you have me, so you might have Miss Chrisman, Miss Crawford, or Mrs. Olette. One thing that my teacher has taught me is math. I can definitely add more to that because I know that I taught Johnson and Wales a lot more than just math. And I know Miss Chrisman, Miss Crawford, and Mrs. Olette taught you guys way more than just one thing. So let's all add another sentence to your teacher page. So don't forget your 4 things that we do when we're doing our writing. think it, say it, write it, read it. So think of another sentence you can write about your teacher. Okay, now we're going to say it. Miss G also taught me to read. So that's another thing you can write. So let's pause our video. I'm going to write that. You might have a different sentence, so you can write a different sentence. So pause your video. Don't forget to think it, say it, write it, read it. Let's read our next sentence. I'll read mine and you can read yours. Miss G, or Miss Crawford, or Miss Olette, or Miss Chrisman also taught me how to read. So, because I added another sentence, I can add more to my picture too. That's what editing is all about. Editing is about adding and fixing. So, I'm happy with my teacher page now that I added another sentence, and I think I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to add more to my picture too. So if you want to add more to your picture, you can pause it. Friends, let's go to our next page. Ooh, it's crooked. Co-curriculars. My favorite co-curricular is music. Music is my favorite because I love to sing. Well, I also like a lot of other things besides singing, and I actually have another picture of me over here drumming. So I'm going to add another sentence about me loving to drum. So first I have to think it, then I have to say it, then I'm going to write it and read it. So I want you to do the same thing. I want you to think about something else that you love about your favorite co-curricular and go ahead and pause the video, do your 4 steps, and then we'll come back and read it. I hope you used your 4 strategies. I'm going to read you my next sentence about music. I also love music because I can learn to play the drums. So I hope you added another sentence because remember, editing is all about adding and fixing. So I'm happy with my co-curricular page because I have 2 pictures that go along with my 2 sentences. So let's go on to our next page. Our next page, I told you, is my favorite. I love learning. The best thing I learned is how to read. I love to read books. Well, I do love to read books, but there's a bunch of other things that I learned and that I love learning about. So I'm going to add one more sentence, but first I'm going to think it and say it and write it and read it. So I want you to do the same. Think of another sentence that has to do with how much you love learning, and then pause the video and stretch out your sounds and write that sentence. Right, I'm back. I'm going to read what I wrote. My brain gets bigger when I read. That's probably one of my favorite sentences in my whole book because that's why we go to school and that's why we read to learn and to make our brains super big. So I'm happy with my I Love Learning page. If you're not happy with your I Love Learning page, you can pause the video and do whatever you need to do to edit your page. So if you need to pause it, pause it. And when you come back, we'll go on to our next page. All right, guys, our next page is our I Love Playing. And we talked about how we love playing with magnets. I love playing. My favorite thing to play is magnets. Magnets are my favorite because I like to build stuff. Well, I like to play at other stuff too. So I'm going to take a minute and think of another sentence, and then I'm going to stretch out all my sounds and write that next sentence. So why don't you guys do the same? Think of one more sentence so we can edit this page also. I'm going to pause my video and write a sentence, and when I come back, we'll both have new sentences. A long time to think about this because I wanted to have it just right. So I wrote, I also like to play with my friends. And I do. I love playing with my friends. And I love watching you guys play together in all the centers that we do in class. And when we're outside, I love watching you guys use teamwork. So if you're happy with your I Love Playing page and you're done editing this page, we're going to go on to our last page. Last page might be the most important. I love Brooke. I love Brooke. I love Brooke because I get to learn. Well, there are a bunch of other reasons why I love Brooke. So you know what I'm going to tell you to do. This is our editing. So we're going to edit this and we're going to add some more sentences. I might add two because there's so many reasons why I love Brooke. So I'm going to think about them, I'm going to say them, I'm going to write them, and then we're going to come back and we're going to read them together. Hey guys. All right. I want to show you something very important. Actually, I'm going to read to you and then I'm going to show you something really important. So I added two more sentences. Brooke is a great place to go to school. My brain is bigger because I've learned so much at Brooke. Now I want to show you something. Look really, 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 really close. And see right here, I crossed something out. I don't have an eraser on my marker. And I use the marker so that you guys can see it. But you see, I made a mistake. I used the word yes, my brain kept bigger, but that didn't make sense when I read it again. So I crossed it off and wrote the word is. So it's my brain is bigger because I've learned so much. So I made a mistake and I didn't get upset about it. I said, oh, Miss G, that doesn't make sense. Cross it off. If I had an eraser, I'd erase it. Cross it off and write the word that makes sense because that's what editing is all about. Editing is about fixing mistakes, adding to your writing to make it a little bit better, and adding to your pictures. So we are now done with our first Brooke book from home. So if you want, I would love for you guys to send me videos of you reading your books. I'm very proud of all of you for all your hard work on your first book. Next week, we're going to do something different in writing and handwriting. So get ready for some awesome learning. I miss you all, and I will see you next week.